This exercise is the first exercise, so I'm going to go through what you'd have to do if you begin to create a new monitoring program and you're opening up the Tribal Data Toolbox for the first time. So I have the exercise description in front of me, and I also have the SOP in front of me because that's what the way we're supposed to do it. So the SOP has a lot of information, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth between the exercise description and the SOP. And the first thing I need to do is, this is the first time I've used the toolbox that I've just downloaded. So I've renamed it already, my name _ course, and I need to make sure that the read-only properties is unchecked. So I'm going to right-click it. I'm going to go down to Properties, and I'm going to uncheck Read Only, and then click OK. And that way, when I open it, it will actually let me write some data into it. So I enter the password, and opens up the main switchboard. So the assignment is that we're going to go through and create a new monitoring program based upon the information in this assignment, and each assignment will build on the next. So the first thing is that we have to enter the people. So I'm going to my SOP, and I'm going to follow the directions in the SOP, and it says click on the Add or Modify Personnel, Site, and Sampler Information button, and that's the top pink button. So I'm going to click on that. Then what do I do? Okay, going back to the SOP, the following window will open, and you're supposed to do it from top to bottom, and it gives some information about the different sorts of fields that we've gone over already. And so we're supposed to click the Personnel button. So Add Modify Personnel, because this is a totally blank toolbox, and I need to add Misty P. Fairview. So I'm going to type that in, Misty, and remember the white fields are optional, Fairview, and her initials, and that sometimes goes over to the end of the little mask, the input mask, MPF. Then her employee ID, and I notice that this field is yellow with a red border as well as the initials field. So that means that those are key fields, and those connect one table to the next in the toolbox. So I need to make sure that I get these right. And the employee ID is given in the exercise description. Her employee ID number is P001. So one way of completing the fields is to actually, you can copy if you have the information electronically like you do, and employee ID, Control V for paste. Now her title is Field Technician. So I click on the down arrow, up opens Field Technician, and she works for the tribe. Okay, we'll just call her the Field Technician for the tribe. And here's her email. I can copy and paste that. Right-click, copy, email, Control V. She works for the tribe. And does she have a phone number that we can copy and paste? Ooh, that's a tricky one. 0000. All right, we'll put that in. And this is an input mask, so it's telling you that it wants the format in a specific order, and you can type it in. And as long as you get the data entry at the beginning, it will take pretty much anything you enter. Is the person active in the project? Yes, she is. She's one of the 2 people that work in the air monitoring program. The second staff member is you. So I say, okay, that looks good. Now I have to add myself. And if you look at this form, at the bottom you can see that there are buttons that look like fast forward and rewind to the first record. And if you put your cursor over them, they tell you what they are. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click one of these gray buttons at the bottom that says Save Personnel Data and Continue Data Entry, or Save Personnel Data and Exit Data Entry. Well, I know I have to add myself, so I'm going to click this one. And then it opens up to the next form, which is blank, and you can see that this is record 2 of 2. So we've added Misty, and now we need to add ourselves. So I'm going to type in my information and go through all that. Okay, so let's just say that I entered Angelique, last name, initials AL, employee ID P002, with a comment in here, person active in project, yes. So let's see, let's go back to the assignment. So the second staff member is you. Okay, I did that. Now you have to enter site information. So how do I do that? I'll go back to the SOP and go down to something about site information. Add Modify Sites. Click on the Add Modify Sites button to open the following window. Okay, good. We can do that. Okay, first I have to get out of this screen, and I know I'm finished with data entry. I'm on record 2 of 2, I see from down below. So I save personnel data and exit data entry. Okay, good. And that takes us back to the previous screen, and now I'm going to add Modify Sites. Okay, so this is the site information, and following the SOP, I click on the Add Modify Sites button to open the following window. Okay, and it opens up to a blank form, which makes sense, and I have to enter the information from the exercise description. So I enter the information as is shown in the exercise description with site ID, the AQS site ID, etc. That looks good. And I go back to the SOP and continue carefully reading it, making sure I've got the information right. Latitude and longitude, I think those are optional, but here's a link in case we have location information in different formats and we need to convert it, like the degrees, minutes, seconds, for example. So I read through this. Once you have finished entering data for the first site, you can click on Save Data Entry and Exit Data Entry button, or Continue Data Entry. Well, we do have, going back to the exercise description, a second site, S002, so we need to save this site and continue data entry. So I do that, and then I enter this data that's now shown on screen, either by typing it in or cutting and pasting, or copying and pasting, excuse me, from the exercise description. City center, AQS site ID, all that information is in there. Okay, good. So now I'm finished with the second site, Save Site Data and Exit Data Entry. Okay. All right, that takes us to the form underneath, and I think we're done with this form. So carefully I click on the lower X to take us back to the main switchboard, and then I go back and read the directions. Okay, now enter sampler information. One continuous sampler and one met sampler. And then at Site 2, S002, we've got 2 PM 2.5 samplers. Hint, after you've entered this information and clicked on the Save Sampler Data and Continue Data Entry button, you will get several message boxes. Ooh, how exciting. All right, so following along with the SOP, it appears right below on page 5 about the sites. There's modifying sites. We're not there. What we need to do is add samplers. So that is shown here, add samplers or pollutants. And there's a description. The thing to remember about samplers is it's used to convey sampling a data stream, and the sampler ID must be a unique identifier. So, okay, click on the Add Samplers button to open the following window. That button. Okay, we can do that. So first, in the main switchboard, we're going to add sampler information, and then we're going to click on Add Samplers. Okay, the continuous sampler at Site 1 monitors for ozone. Serial number is instrument 001, CB, and 1008-AH. Okay, I think we can copy this in. Sampler serial number IN001. I'm going to just copy that. Sampler located at site. Now these drop-down boxes are populated because in the previous step we entered the site information. It was placed on February 1, 2006. I'm just going to copy that. Let's see if this works. Placed at site. Okay, that looks good. Pollutant from the drop-down box is ozone, and we're going to continue copying that information in there. And I'm Angelique, and I'm going to save sampler data and continue data entry for the other samplers, just in the